Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, I have some fun news to share with you guys. The right on right violence is just, it's out of control. I really, I've never seen anything like this. I have to say, it seems like MAGA is coming apart at the seams. And it's very clear that Donald Trump has lost some of his power over not just regular run of the mill, Reagan Republicans, but MAGA, MAGA Republicans. So I'm going to explain all this, but, just as a quick refresher for anybody or update for anybody who wasn't aware that all of this was going on. There are so many different MAGA fights going on, so many different MAGA civil wars. It's hard to even keep track. So you have like a faction that's pissed off at Tucker Carlson because he had, white supremacist, white nationalist Nick Fuentes on his show, and he didn't really push back on him, which I agree with. He should push back on him for some of his comments because Fuentes is kind of trying to do this whole rebrand of, oh, I'm not really a Nazi. I'm just questioning Israel and, why our deference to that country, which is not true at all. He's a Holocaust denier. He has said that, Hitler was a great guy or something like that, or he really liked him. I mean, he has made horrific, horrific comments about just about every race on the planet. So there's those two factions going on. Those two groups are fighting. A bunch of MAGA people are saying, oh, this isn't who we are. We're not a racist group, blah, blah, blah. And Fuentes is pushing back on, oh, well, if I talked about anybody other than the Jewish people, you guys wouldn't have a problem, blah, blah. Anyway, there's that fight going on. There's fights with Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor-Greene. We now have this huge fight between Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor-Greene, which is what I'm going to get into the details of. There's also pushback against Trump on his whole redistricting, push and attempt. So Indiana, of all places, one of the reddest states, said, no, we're not doing it. They don't have enough Republican support in their state legislature to actually even take up the vote and to do the redistricting that Donald Trump wants. So you are seeing Republicans break with Donald Trump in a way that we have never seen before. And I think this has everything to do with the election results that we had a couple weeks back. I think they see Donald Trump as, number one, a lame duck president. He's not going to be elected again, might not even live to see the end of this presidency, fingers crossed. And they see he didn't do any good in those elections. Like, he actually hurt people. He is eroding the base that he put together in 2024. So they see him now, I think, as a liability, and they're not afraid of him anymore. And you see people standing with Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor-Greene and so many others who are standing up to him. So they're like, oh, gosh, I mean, they're standing up to him and they're not getting run out of town, with pitchforks. I mean, a lot of the base is still sticking with them. So I think it's giving them permission to do this. So anyway, here's where things stand with this whole MTG and Donald Trump things, or whole thing. She can't say we didn't warn her, right? Because over and over again, we have all said, as soon as you're no longer useful to the cult leader, he cuts you off at the knees and he throws you in a shallow grave. And the majority of MAGA, I wouldn't say, oh, actually, I shouldn't say the majority. a good chunk is turning against her, um, including Cat Turd, the online, user Twitter personality Cat Turd. Cat Turd was singing her praises not too long ago in tweets and saying, oh, she's true MAGA, she's the best, blah, blah. Now, all of a sudden, that she wants the Epstein files released, Cat Turd has completely turned on her. But there is a good chunk of the base that's sticking with her and turning against Trump. So here's all what's going down, if you had not heard. On Friday, Trump posted this on his failing social media site. So I'm not going to read the entire thing. It's just so long. But anyway, in short, he said that he's withdrawing his support and his endorsement of quote unquote Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor-Greene. So indicating that she's not really a congresswoman. And then he said that over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, blah, 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 blah. He goes on and on about a bunch of stuff that he didn't do, like stopping, quote unquote, 8 wars. He says we're now respected by every country, which is just bullshit. Anyway, having trillions of dollars, which is another bunch of bullshit. He says we have the hottest country in the world. And then he says, all I see is, quote unquote, wacky Marjorie, or all I see wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance, unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't able to get or wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen / women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they are fed up with her and her antics. If the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican-hating anchors. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. So the vast majority of the replies express support for Trump's decision on first glance. And they dogpiled on Greene, and they were calling her names. But there were people, and I'll explain why in a minute, but there were people who first started taking issue with Trump. They were saying he was making a mistake, that, he's changed. So one person wrote this, and again, this is on Kool-Aid Central, guys. This is on Truth Social. This is Donald Trump's safe space. This is where his hardest of hardcore Kool-Aid drinking cultists are crawling all over like cockroaches. And this person wrote, quote, "You're really making me question my support. We all know this revocation is due to her stance against Zionists and Israel infiltrating this administration. You are obviously compromised. What a waste. Fuck Israel and AIPAC." So there were a lot like this, not the majority, but there were a lot like this. And then a short time after Trump posted that on his failing social media site, Marjorie Taylor-Greene fires back on Twitter. And she wrote, quote, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge, the Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help me, or to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior. And I serve my district, GA 14, and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been, and I will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only. And then she included, along with this lengthy tweet, a couple of screenshots showing that she was urging Trump to go after the Clintons in regard to the whole Epstein issue, which of course he did. But, once again, on Twitter, the comments were very mixed, but the majority was dragging her on Twitter, which is interesting that she seemed to get, I'd have to go back and look, but she seemed to get more support over on Kool-Aid Central. And they were more so siding with Trump on Twitter. Again, though, you did have a good number of people who were supportive of her and were taking issue with Trump. And apparently, Trump got really pissed off after that. And, he doesn't like anybody saying, oh, I don't worship you. So he returned fire on Saturday morning. And then he stole my nickname for her. So Trump wrote this, quote, Marjorie Taylor-Greene is a disgrace to our great Republican Party. I mean, first of all, he didn't even spell her last name correctly. So that goes to show you how closely he's paid attention to her. But yeah, I don't know if Trump posted that before he was done writing, like if he hit send or post before he was done writing, or and that was on Truth Social also, or if it just didn't elicit the response that he was hoping for, but then he immediately posted again because it had the same timestamp. It says, quote, lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor-Greene, green grass turns brown when it begins to rot, betrayed the entire Republican Party when she turned left, performed poorly on the pathetic View, and became the rhino that we all know she always was. Just another fake politician, no different than Rand Paul Jr., Thomas Massie, who got caught being a full-fledged Republican in name only rhino. Make America great again. So, I mean, first of all, if you have to explain a nickname, it's not good. People should just automatically get the nickname, right? But this spurred even more of a catfight between Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor-Greene, because Ozempic face Laura Loomer then posted, and she said, quote, I told you Marjorie Taylor-Greene was lying about having a great relationship with President Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for withdrawing your endorsement of Marjorie Taylor-Greene. She thinks she speaks for MAGA. She doesn't. What's funny is there are clearly bots that swoop in and they go and start posting memes to defend Trump when he starts to have his ass handed to him. So I kind of alluded to this at the beginning, because if you look at the older posts, like the ones that post first, most people, even on Kool-Aid Central, are slamming Trump and defending Marjorie Taylor-Greene. But then the more recent posts towards the top, they're all a bunch of recycled BS memes. They're all praising Trump, giving him verbal fellatio. And so it's just so obvious that he has some sort of bot farm set up to protect him when he's getting slammed by his own supporters. Because Trump knows more than anybody. It's all about branding. It's all about creating a narrative and making people feel like they're part of the in crowd. So if people see too much negativity hitting Trump, they might feel emboldened then to say what they're really feeling. But then if they see too many people siding with Trump and praising him, then they go that direction. Because like I said last week, I think it was last week, there are just too many followers in the world. There are not very many true leaders. Most people just want to follow, go along with the in crowd. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to have an opinion that's different. They want to be accepted. They're afraid of what people are going to say if they have an opinion that, the majority doesn't agree with. I don't know where that comes from. I've never had that issue in my life. I don't care if I'm the only one saying it. If I believe it's right, I'm going to say it. Anyway, there were some comments that appeared real, though, in, taking issue with Marjorie Taylor-Greene, and some of them were pretty brutal. So like people were calling her the Temu Liz Cheney. A ton of them, of course, called her a rhino. One person posted a meme it was a photo of actor Mickey Rourke, which if you've seen Mickey Rourke lately, this is not a compliment. And they said that he would be playing Marjorie Taylor-Greene in a biographical miniseries. I mean, I really want everyone to just take a step back for a minute. We need to contemplate how absolutely insane in the membrane, batshit crazy this all is. Like, seriously, if someone had told us 12 years ago that our country would twice elect a president who's an accused pedo, right? Because there was that lawsuit accusing him. It was never adjudicated because she got too many death threats, but there was a woman who accused him. If we had been told about that, if we had been told that, he would be calling people names, posting insults on social media like an angry 12-year-old boy who, didn't get invited to a Sadie Hawkins dance, so he's just angry at the world. Like, if we knew that, this guy would be convicted of 34 felonies, found liable of sexual assault in the E. Jean Carroll case, and he'd still get elected, and people are watching him on social media acting like a child. And yet, about 25-30% of the country is totally fine with it and supports it. We would all think, no freaking way. No way in hell that would ever happen in our country. And yet, here we are. It's insane. It is the most bizarre timeline I think our country has ever seen. Like, we've had some horrible things. This is definitely horrible, but on top of it, it's just bizarre. It's like an alternate universe. It's like we're living a dystopian, yet sometimes comical, futuristic view. We are living, not religiosity. What was the one with Owen Wilson? We are living that movie. We are living this insane sometimes dramatic, sometimes comedic movie about a dystopian future. So anyway, guys, yeah, I will let you know when more hits the fan. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.